Hello there and welcome. My name is Jess, or alternatively Jessica if I'm in trouble, and I'm the owner of Inspired Early Years, a coaching company for childcare owners and managers. Um, Over the last few weeks, I've seen a lot of questions float around in Facebook pages, in different groups that I'm a member of about social media. And the question that everyone's asked is, does my setting need that? Well, that's actually quite a difficult question to answer because only you are who you are and only you know your setting in the way you do. So um, it's really down to exploring some different options out there, looking at what it is that you want to achieve. So I thought I would do a quick video about the reasons for why you might want to consider a social media account for your setting. I'm not going to focus on educational parent partnership benefits. I would really like to just look at the business and financial side of it. So what benefits can social media bring to your business that might end up making you more money? Okay. Um, People always kind of shy away from talking about that aspect of our work, but unfortunately, unless our setting is sustainable, we attract the number of parents that we need to attract to be running and paying our staff's wages. Um, Unless we do that, there isn't going to be a childcare provision and we can't help those children in our care. So, unfortunately, it is part of our work that we should look at. So, I would encourage everyone who's looking into getting a social media account to ask themselves the very honest question, why? Why do you want to make yourself more work? Why do you want to add something else to your weekly to do list that's getting longer and longer, anyways? What are you going to get? And from a business perspective, to me, there's two main reasons why you should consider it. Um, and the first one is very outright attracting new business. You could be a new setting in the area, you're looking for your first clients, you've got to spread the word. You might not have the finances for traditional advertising methods like leaflets. Or you could be at the other end of the spectrum, you could be a very established setting that's at 90% occupancy, but you have a few more sessions that you really want to fill up. So you might use social media to attract a different kind of customer that you haven't been able to reach before. It could be the younger parents that, might be a bit like me. If a leaflet comes through the door, it's quicker in the bin than anywhere else. So maybe a Facebook ad would be a good way for you to attract those customers into your business. But there is another thing that you might achieve actually through opening an account with certain social media providers, I would say, and that could be increasing your current income. So you might be launching a new service that you haven't provided before, such as babysitting or a lunch club or a holiday club or anything of the sort. And that could actually help you to increase income from parents that are already at your setting, that already know you and trust you, just by publicizing what you are going to offer them more. You might also think about running a stay and play session in your setting because you have a spare room, and you could be sharing that with your current parents who might drop in and stay and play with their child for a bit when they're not at your nursery setting. So, really, there are ways in which social media reaches people that you may have not previously reached. However, there are also some reasons of why I would not consider opening a social media account. When I started looking into this first, the first thing that probably came to my mind was confidentiality and permissions. I was thinking of starting a Facebook page, a public page for my setting to share the great work that we're doing. The problem is, I really had to go back to basics. I had to go back to my policies and procedures. What are my setting's current policies? Do I need to make any changes? Do I need to tell the staff about that? How am I going to do that? What permissions do I have to, for example, share children's pictures? What are my ethics and my values? What do I believe in when it comes to sharing children's pictures on social media? You might decide that you only take pictures from behind, or that you're not going to share any pictures with faces in it, or you might decide not to have any pictures on your public Facebook page at all. It really depends on what you want to achieve and what you think has the best outcome, what you might decide to do. I then also had a bit of a kind of wobbly thought when it came to people misusing social media. This will probably hugely depend on your area and the kind of customer you have, but in my area, it was a big issue that people are talking about other people's business more than about their own. So I was worried that there would be people who would misuse my social media account to spread bad messages about our work. So a thing that was important for me to consider was, how much control do I have about my social media account? Can I block people that are posting negative things? Can I control what gets displayed in that account before it goes live? Um, and in the end, I actually found lots of different solutions for that, which I will tell you about possibly in a different video when we're looking at different services. But there was ways around that, and it actually turned out I was more concerned about people misusing social media that I don't have control over. Sometimes you get people posting nasty things on netmums, leaving fake reviews. So that kind of thing I actually found could be a lot more damaging than something I can control. A thing that's not been a concern for me, but maybe a concern for somebody else, is how tech savvy are you? How quickly are you going to be able to work out that service that you've chosen to use, how to use it to the best of its ability, and how much time is that going to cost you? If having a social media account means for you that you are going to have to spend an extra 2 hours every week just to promote a little thing that might make you, I don't know, that might make you £50 a month, are 4 weeks worth of 2 hours worth £50 in your time? Possibly not. Okay, so I would recommend that you really think about those things. But saying that, there are so many different social media platforms out there that all have different ways of working, different advantages, different disadvantages, that really you might actually find that you will definitely not be doing all of them, but you might find one that you actually would like to use. As a summary, you get Facebook. Facebook gives you lots of different options when it comes to how you would like to share your content. You can go for a public Facebook page that anyone can access, or a private group for your existing parents. Again, it comes down to policies and permissions, what you allow to be shared where, but you actually have quite a large amount of control over what is on your pages and in your groups. What you don't have control over is what gets posted about your setting in the local neighbourhood group that you're probably not a member of. So actually, I found Facebook pages have really good settings to protect your setting and your information. You might consider doing Twitter. I know quite a few nurseries and schools that use Twitter for really quick notifications, such as nursery closing 4 p.m. today for training, just a reminder for parents. It could be for anything that you want to spread. By the way, new menu is coming next week. Please check your emails. Things like that. You get Pinterest. Pinterest isn't so much of a social network in the traditional sense that we know it, where you post a message and someone else sees it and responds to it. If you don't know Pinterest, I recommend that you check it out. I think I got every single one of my staff members to sign up for an account because it's that useful. Pinterest is like a virtual pinboard. If you see something on the internet that you like, you can open a pinboard under a topic such as Christmas craft activities, and you can pin resources onto your virtual pinboard. And Pinterest has not hundreds or thousands, but I think it must be something like billions of pins. And I swear there's probably an idea for whatever you're looking for. And you could then let your parents know what your Pinterest account name is. They could follow you. You could share really useful activities with them. And they might then share your account with their friends. And when their friends have babies, they might, find you that way. It is the long way around, but there are multiple ways in which Pinterest can give parents an idea about the sort of activities you will be providing at your setting. YouTube might not be one that comes to your mind first thing, but I know settings that have successfully done interviews with their staff that they share on their website and they upload it to YouTube, and simple things like, what's your educational philosophy? What do you believe in? Some settings have done tours of their nursery, like at weekends when it's empty, so parents can already get a picture. Is your setting neat, tidy, clean, big rooms, small rooms, homely, looks more institutional? So you can use YouTube to share content quite easily. LinkedIn isn't so much a social network for you to connect necessarily with your customer, but you might be able to build a little bit more of a reputation through writing interesting articles, sharing interesting things that you've read, connecting with other professionals, finding companies to work with, training providers. Maybe you need some help with your HR. You probably find a professional on LinkedIn that can help you, and that might just help you to sort of build a network. And then you get Google Plus. If you want your settings to feature on Google Maps, I'm pretty sure that you need to by now sign into a Google Plus account, but you can actually do that anyways. You can provide some basic information about your setting, and then when somebody clicks on your setting name on Google Maps, it will take them to your Google Plus page and they can already learn a little bit about you, and you can then link to your website or to other social media accounts from there. So lots of different platforms, lots of different ways of using them, lots of different reasons why you might use them, and you might find that you like YouTube and you like Twitter, but you can't stand Facebook and LinkedIn doesn't seem useful to you. Or you might love Pinterest and do that anyways, but you might choose to start a Facebook page as well to share useful things you find on Pinterest with your parents. So I would recommend that you have a look at these and see how they might help you. There are pros and cons to using every single one of them. I think a lot of it is down to personal preference. What can you work out? What do you like to use? Where is your customer? Where are you going to get hold of those people that need to see you? These will be completely personal to you, and you will need to sit down with your deputy, with your business partner, sit down, talk about them, and work out, who are you going to attract? What problems might this cause? And it might take you some time, but you will get there at the end and you will find out why you would choose one social media account over another. Right, we're already coming to the end of this lovely, very short video. It's now over to you. Before I leave you, I recommend that you just simply spend some time checking out the different options. Create an account on Twitter. It doesn't cost you anything. Create an account on Facebook if you haven't got one. Definitely create an account on Pinterest. Whether you use it for your setting or not, you will definitely find interesting resources there. You might end up using it for your house, and you might end up developing a slight addiction to it because you can get the app on your phone, you can pin anything anywhere. So do be aware, do not get addicted to it. See what the different options offer you. See other settings pages. Type nursery into the Facebook search and see what other pages share on their nursery page. Speak to different providers in your area if you can. If you don't have anybody to talk to, I do offer the Managers Masterclass, which is a really intimate coaching group for managers and business owners and childminders. So you might actually be able to discuss these kind of things with us in my group. Then work out the advantages and disadvantages for all of those services. Facebook advantages, my ideal customers there. Disadvantage, I have no clue how to use it, and it might take me some time to work out. And then lastly, do head over to my website. It's www.inspiredearlyyears.co.uk. On my website, you will find lots more useful information, and you can also sign up for my newsletter, and then you will be notified when I will upload my next video. And I would really like to spend some time looking into the different social media services there is. How easy is it to set them up and use them? So yeah, join me in my newsletter and you will know when it's live.